Hey everyone out there, it's the Man in Black here. I know I've been quiet on the video front, so this is going to be the first you've seen from any of my channels in quite a while. There are more things in planning, but there's something I'm working on first, and that's actually the reason I'm making this webcam vlog and will be doing so for the next month. The reason I'm doing this using my webcam is I pretty much had a choice. I could either set up the full video thing, spend the time, and continue doing that over the next month, or spend about an eighth of the time just doing with the webcam. And while I can set up the whole thing tonight, I really don't want to get expectations up for something I won't be able to deliver on, because with this project I'm going to be pretty much extremely busy whenever I have the energy to work on this stuff for the next month. And that is, if you've never heard of it, National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo. It's from November 1st to November 30th, and the goal is to write 50,000 words during that time, essentially one full-length novel. So this is what I'm going to be working on starting November 1st, so that's 5 days from the recording of this, all the way through November 30th. I've got everything planned out, and I'm really looking forward to this. Now, why do people do NaNoWriMo? There's a few reasons for that, and they pretty much all appeal to me, especially in this circumstance. NaNoWriMo isn't just for convincing people to write and things of that nature. A lot of it is essentially stop planning and get it on paper, and that's something I really need to work on. Finishing things is an issue of mine, and this is something that should really move in that direction. It also actually helps focus in the planning stages as well. Normally when I'm writing, I'll start an outline, I'll write down some ideas, I'll sit down, I'll write a chapter, I'll forget about it for a few weeks, I'll do some more planning and write another chapter. It goes forward kind of haphazardly. But what I've been doing lately is actually I've been doing some very detailed outlining, to the extent that people who are full-time authors kind of do. Now, I'm not saying I follow anyone's exact thing. I haven't really researched outlining. I'm pretty much doing what's going to work for me. And I'm following these steps, and it's really interesting because some of these steps I've never actually let myself get to. I've been a bit too impulsive for that, and holding back until November 1st is kind of forcing me to do this planning, and it's getting me to think through a lot of ideas that I would have gotten to the point of writing, like, oh my god, I don't know what to write here. So on one hand, I wish I did have some more time to plan, just because there's a lot going on in my head regarding that. But on the other hand, that's part of what NaNoWriMo is, because if I let myself, I would plan out a 12-book series before starting to write the first one, which is going to get me nowhere if the first one's not written. So I do have a plan here, and I'll go over that a bit before I go into more detail. And that is, the book is going to be called Not Once a Ranger, God no. Not Enough to Be a Ranger. And that's a working title. I'm definitely planning to come up with other ones later on. It's essentially if Buffy the Vampire Slayer was about Power Rangers rather than vampire slaying, which means that it is about 5 characters going through their high school lives, in addition to being this superhero team saving the world. I apologize if there's some noise out there. It looks like my mother and sister got home a bit earlier than I expected. Hopefully it's not too distracting there. This is almost over anyway. So you can find this on NaNoWriMo.org, I believe. There's, for some reason, my history keeps trying to go to one that is disabled. I forget whether, I think that's .net. .org, I believe, is the one that's actually active. So I'm not sure if .net used to exist, or if I just typed it in wrong at some point in the past and it just kept going there, but I'm pretty sure it's NaNoWriMo.org. If that doesn't work, then it's .net, and I apologize. But if you search for the Man in Black and Not Enough to Be a Ranger, it's up there. There is a blurb. There's obviously not an excerpt because we're not supposed to start writing before November 1st. So that's 5 minutes. I plan to just have short 5-minute updates to let you know how my progress is. This is going to be partially a way to keep me making sure I'm meeting my goals because I'm accountable to you guys. It's also a way to get you guys involved, get some discussion open. So feel free to start asking some questions. I'm probably going to get at least one more update up before I actually start the event on November 1st. So I'll be going into some more backstory about the planning process, about the story, and if there's any questions, I would love to answer some. So leave your comments below. Until then, Man in Black out. Thanks for the support.